Hands on me.
I'd just like you to
Get your hands off me.
Right,
open your ears. Now. Shut your mouth for 1 second.
Will you stop talking to me like that?
Sorry.
I just feel like you may be trying to enforce their policy.
It's when that breach of their policy becomes that aggravated trespass.
Yep. The boys in blue have arrived. And security, the laughing Joker, I think it is. Yeah, the laughing Joker one. Following. But I think what we'll do, as they've decided to go around the back, we'll go and do our flight through the archway. We're going to carry on flying, mate. They're not interested. He's laughing his head off. He thinks I'm getting arrested. And it is Wiltshire Police. Let's go and get our flight done with the archway up here. Because the police may say you need to leave the land, and I'm going to say I'm allowed to be on the cycle route, but then this part of here, I don't know if this is a cycle route. Actually, I have seen some cyclists come up here, so maybe it is. So just doing a quick takeoff through the archway flight.
Takeoff. Home.
I just interrupted
Yeah, go on, sir.
because I've got to go and I didn't know if you wanted to speak to me.
I will want to speak to you, yeah.
All
This
right.
is a private bit. If we go back around that way and I'll come around and speak to you.
Yeah, do you know how long you'll be or?
Drive the car around.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No worries.
So if you pop around back around to the front
Yep.
and I'll come speak to you that way.
No worries. Cheers. Right. Oh, he wants to talk to me. I don't know what about. But they do know the channel, so they're going to know who I am.
Hi sir, thank you for waiting.
That's all right.
We are recording just so
Cheers.
you know. Do you know why we've been called out?
Drone.
Do you think we know why we've been called? Yeah, the drone.
The drone.
Um,
And the ambiguity of where I am.
On the psychopath versus on the thing. Yeah, okay. So yeah, psychopath 24/7. It's open. You can wind the psychopath.
Right.
They raised some issues with you stopping on the psychopath, which apparently you're not allowed to do. I haven't got a clue the ins and outs of it. I don't think they're going to mislead me in that. You're not allowed to stop on the psychopath. I think they've said they've had to move cycle groups on before for stopping on it. I don't know. That's what they're telling me.
I've ridden my bike in.
Yeah.
There's no sidle rules.
Yeah.
They came out and told me this shouldn't stop.
Yeah.
I've said, where can I find that rule if I didn't
Yeah.
speak to you? How would I know?
Okay.
They can't provide anything.
Yeah.
So I said, well, in my opinion, I'm entitled to stop on it.
Okay.
Right.
I did say I'm happy to ride up and down
Yeah.
and fly,
Yeah.
Right.
but it wouldn't be the best thing to do.
No, it would be the safest thing to do. I think. I mean, with regard to that, that's not really an issue for me. To be fair, it's a
Right.
psychopath and you can cycle on it.
Sure.
I can't kick you off the psychopath. I'd ask you to be as safe as possible on it and not endanger anyone.
Is it public or is it? How does it work? I don't know, by the way.
Not, as far as I'm aware, it's not part of Longleat.
It's public,
Kind of
but
thing,
the
so it's
idea is you
public.
can't stop or go
Right.
off the path
I think
because then you're starting to come into the territory of
Longleat.
Longleat. Whereas if you obviously
Right.
cycle through and use it as a path through,
Yeah.
that's a little bit different.
Is it just here or is it up there as well? Do you know? I've seen it.
There's a bike and an arrow that way, so I'm going to assume.
Ah. Yeah, I've seen cyclists going up there.
The ins and outs of how probably the covenant worked, I don't know. It's likely
Okay.
that they've got an agreement to say that you can use a psychopath, but you don't stop because then it impinges on their commercial rights, whatever. To
Right.
stop it. But I don't know.
I came in down the hill, so
Through the main entrance. What,
Yeah.
through the ticket booth?
yeah, because I didn't know how it works here. The lady said, as long as you stay on the path.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I said, I want to see the house. She said, well, if you cycle past, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can't breach the path.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
This bit?
Yeah, this bit that says no bikes, yeah.
I did walk in and let them know what I wanted to do with the drone and walk back out.
Yeah.
So you walked into the house?
I went in there.
Yeah,
I said, I've come past. I want to fly this drone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an issue? I don't want to have people jumping on me if I start doing it.
Yeah.
And that's when they said, oh, can't do it.
Yeah.
Right,
She got on the radio. I came back out to here.
yeah,
And that's when the guys have came out.
right.
It's gone from there,
See,
basically.
I'm sure you're more aware of the drone rules than I am.
I don't know, maybe.
I
You
don't-
tell me.
Well, I'm fairly ignorant of them, to be fair. It's not something we do terribly often.
Sure.
I think the concern from my end where it becomes a more police issue
Yep.
trespass isn't a police issue when it starts nudging towards an aggravated trespass. Okay. They're suggesting that we are going in that direction with the manner in which you're flying the drone.
The manner.
As in looking into the property and recording inside the property of private residents, and also causing security and members of the public distress in doing so. Now, whether that is the case or not, that's what I'm being told by them. Okay.
The second point is a bit that wouldn't cross the threshold of aggravated trespass for me, but the first part, if I was doing that, possibly.
So how have you been flying the drone? As in, have you been recording into the property?
I make cinematic videos on beautiful properties.
Yeah.
Be it security interactions are involved with that, but I do focus the drone part being professionally done.
Yeah.
So I have gone quite close to the house to get. It's quite a detailed building.
Have you recorded into it?
No. When you say in, what do you mean by in?
Do
you mean in the middle or the windows?
Have you recorded into the building? So not the middle where it's a courtyard. As in, are you recording into the windows? As in, you can see the inside of the rooms.
Can't see the inside. No.
So you're just recording the exterior.
You can appreciate from here the windows are black from the reflection.
Yeah.
When you're a bit closer, it's the same.
Yeah.
I've probably gone from me to you at the very closest, and that would have been for a panning shot, just going straight across.
Okay.
That's it. They would have been here. They've looked over, and from here, it looks really close.
Yeah.
I do that because it's a detailed building, and obviously on the video, I have my far away shots, and I have my real close-up detailed shots. That's it.
Okay. So what's your plan now? Have you got the footage you need?
Pretty much.
Are you heading
done.
on your way?
Pretty much done. I was just annoyed the way the one gentleman dealt with me, really.
Right, okay.
It started off professional,
Yeah.
and then when he realised I wasn't going to land it, I was going to crack on and fly.
Yeah.
He came over while I was flying, grabbed me like round the shoulders, turned me and said, "You need to turn. You're flying it over the house. You need to turn."
Yeah.
I was flying at the time,
Right, okay.
and then he continued to kind of be about this close.
Yeah.
Wouldn't move out of my way while I was flying.
Okay.
I mean, I find that it's not professional, and it's pretty crossed the threshold of an offence, and I don't want to report it,
Okay.
but it's just.
But he's taking hold of you.
Yeah. He did it enough to turn me,
Yeah.
Right.
and then after 5 or 6 seconds let go,
Yeah.
and then he's gone again, one hand on the shoulder that time, and I've said, remove the hand. If you don't remove it, I'm going to like push you back.
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't aggressive, I just said I'm going to move you back.
Okay.
And he didn't move, but then eventually I said, get back to work, and he walked off.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
didn't approach me after that. But I feel that's crossed the threshold for an offence, technically.
Where he's taking hold of you.
Yeah, while I'm flying.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's just distract. I don't know what the offence is called, but
I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be fair. I'm not even going to pretend to know.
interrupting
what
a pilot, maybe, I don't know.
What an FAA guidance is on it and not touch people. I just can't. A lot of it is civil, particularly with how you would use the
I
cycle.
was going to move at the sun's your mind. It's just
No,
killing my
that's fine. Yeah,
right.
that's
Oh,
fine.
it's on your right now, isn't
We'll
it?
get, I'll get the right.
I'll go there.
It's just killing my.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's better. You sure? Good
Yeah,
on.
that's fine. That's
Oh, you got your hat on. Yeah, got your hat
it's
on.
fine. Yeah, a lot of it's civil. They'll call us out of wanting support, wanting to clarify things.
Right.
They look to see if there are ways we can help them resolve the issues they've got with you flying the drone in the manner you are, or how they've suggested you have, whether you have or not.
Do they have any videos of it? Have they tried to like film my drone or anything? Or
I don't know.
right, okay.
There are multiple people saying that they have possibly witnessed you recording into the property, which then becomes more of an issue at my.
I'll tell you what I could do. I can get the controller out.
Well, no, I'd rather. I don't need to see it. If you're.
I know you don't need to,
And heading.
but I'd like to. Well, I don't have to, but if I show you how close I've been, you'll see I'm nowhere near the windows. Not in terms of looking in.
Yeah.
I did reassure them. I said, like, as people live there,
Yeah.
I won't.
That's the other issue. Is obviously their concern is part of it is public, part of it is private,
Yeah, that's it.
and that's the issue. Is
Oh,
going
right.
into the private part,
Yeah.
and then obviously that right to privacy, etc., is also the concern that they've got.
So my understanding on, well, not understanding, but my kind of view on that
Yeah.
is if a property is open to the public at times, which when I arrived it was.
Only part of it is.
Okay, but the building is open to the public,
Yeah.
or was earlier.
Yeah.
The people that live there would have not full, but less expectancy of privacy because people are going to be out here taking photos of the building, right?
But of this part.
Yeah, but no one knows where they live. the whole 360, I think you can go all the way around, can't you, around there?
So the bit what we were a minute ago around the back, you can't. That's not open to the public.
Oh, okay, right. I've been mainly around this part here and by the river edge.
What, by the lions, basically?
Yeah, but higher up. When I was close, I was filming the statues on the top. They're quite detailed, but on the very top of the building. So the drone would have been above the top window. It wouldn't have been level with the top window anyway. See if I can show you. Not to prove my innocence, just to sort of say, look, from a drone, you literally can't see anything. And if you ever go back to them, it may help them sort of. Is that the right place? It may help them feel better. But yeah, because it's open, it's kind of like there's less expectation of privacy. So if a drone flies over the top of the building, as opposed to, say, your house, there's a bit of a difference, right? Because a tourist attraction, people are probably going to do that. And the people that live there have to maybe sort of understand that may happen, whereas your house,
I think
I've got no reason to fly over your house.
There is still an expectation of privacy now.
100%. Just less.
There are other elements to an aggravated trespass that isn't just the expectation of privacy. So if you're disrupting...
Oh, you're going that route? Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I'm just... It's not just that. That's the expectation of privacy.
Yeah,
There's an element of it. But if you're leaving now anyway, I'm happy to see that you can't see into the windows. So I
just want to show you to reassure them and to almost
that's fine.
Prove them wrong that I feel they've said it in a way to maybe. There's a lot of footage on it.
Roughly how long have you been here? Roughly?
Not that long, like... What time did I get here?
Is that the footage there?
Hour and a half. Yeah, like... I have gone a bit closer than that, but that was when I saw the statues, but you can see from that, you're never going to see in a window that sort of... especially with the sunlight.
It's a nice shot.
There's a faraway shot. Another faraway shot.
So how close do you get?
If I try and show you, that's a different file. So if I go to, it's never to know which one it's going to be. It divides it up into quite. Yeah. I think that's when I started. That's definitely not close. Definitely not close. No, I think that's when we were. Yeah, that's when they were talking to me, and I made sure the drone was somewhere safe. Oh, let's go. Okay. So let's try that one. That's obviously over the top. But you can see that my sort of... That's a close shot in my opinion. But the drone was still... the camera does show it as being closer than it actually is in terms of physically, but that's when I've gone close there. So that's obviously the public area where you would see front door.
Yeah.
And then I've done a panning up shot.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I went that close. You can see from the angle of the window, you're never going to see into that. And then I come up and I try and get the statues into the shot, but I didn't do it right, but I tried to. There we go. So my focus was the detail of those, not the windows.
So that's the closest you've got?
Yeah. I've gone across, see? My focus is there, not into the windows, because I'm aware there's windows and I don't want to be capturing a video where I get home and I go, oh, there's a person in that window.
Yeah.
I wouldn't publish it, but I've still captured it.
Yeah.
It's not the best practice, is it?
No.
So come round like that. You can see from what I'm showing you that the idea is not to look in a window, it's to get a beautiful video, right?
Yeah.
It's not really.
I'm satisfied you're not, from what that you're not recording into the thing. I get it may look from the ground or their perspective that you're right in. But okay, from what you've shown me, it doesn't look like you are. It doesn't mean your actions isn't causing them issues.
But you know, me being here, you know when you go into a site and the security react and come out and say you can't be here or whatever, I wouldn't justify that as being enough for an aggravated trespass on its own, because they're just doing their job, aren't they?
Yeah.
If I blocked the road on my bike or I was flying in the middle of the road, I'm not moving from here, I'm flying, you know. I'm sort of purposely disrupting the whole operation, aren't I?
I suppose it depends how much your actions would disrupt their activities or them ensuring other safety elements
And also
on the
you
site.
said that you, obviously I didn't see the footage, but were
Yeah.
you in front of the door when you started?
No, not me. I've got.
With the drone, so you said you filmed from the drone, you said you filmed from the front doors up.
Yeah.
Was that in front of the front doors?
Just there, yeah.
So, and was that when the house was open?
Yes.
So potentially you're putting members of the public at risk by having your drone at that height as well?
It was at least 3 people high. I mean,
Well, 3 people high would be too close
Yeah.
to other people. I think you've got, is it 50 feet?
there's no.
50 metres.
50 metres distance from
I mean, if
people.
it was 50 metres, I'd have a lot of trouble flying. There's no distance with a small drone.
As I say, I know it does vary from drone to drone.
If it's over 250, if it's over that magical
limit,
weight, all of those sort of distances apply.
Yeah.
150
Actually,
from
so
buildings.
Your
under.
drone is under that weight.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll show you.
No, I believe
fine,
you
it's
if you
just-
tell me.
Yeah, I know you believe me. I just 249.
Super. Handy, isn't it?
So it makes it that weight on purpose so that you can fly it.
You're under, okay.
In theory, I could have gone lower, but you've got to be safe and reasonable. And if it was
Yeah.
busy, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
There was like 2 people here
Yeah.
with their kids. Started there, flew over them. We're still talking 3 people high. They've seen that and gone, oh, you're flying over people, but just a couple of people. It's no danger as such. You can't eliminate all danger,
No.
but
There's always you mitigate as best as you can.
you do.
So they'd like you to leave
Right.
in this section. They'd like you not to record over the property. Okay.
So with the drone, essentially.
With the drone.
Yeah.
That's what they would
Got
like.
you.
Okay. I don't know how they've asked it before. I would ask you not to, just because it's causing them an issue. You've got your footage now? And
I have.
You on your way?
I have, but if you were to like say to me, you know, there's nothing we can do to stop you flying over and recording, but they'd rather you don't. My response would be, well, I've pretty much finished anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
So,
I just feel like you may be trying to enforce their policy.
well,
If that makes sense.
Of not having someone record because it jeopardises their commercial.
Well, yeah, whatever they worded it as, yeah.
Well, no, because that would be a civil thing. My issue would be when it butts into an aggravated trespass, because that's the only thing I've got. As in,
Yeah.
like, really, that was it, and you'd know that as well.
If I stand on the property that's not, well, the psychopath, let's hypothetically say I have a flight left to do, and if I was to stand on there, I can go out the way and do it. I haven't got to be here. I can go out of view up the hill, do it there, do my flight. The only thing I'm doing is flying over their building and recording, right? Would that be a police matter?
Again, it depends, because if they have security concerns
Yeah.
with your presence and flying over the drone,
Yep.
even if you're on a public access section, you are then disrupting their daily activities, and maybe they're having to stay on because they have that security concern.
But I'm doing a
No.
reasonable activity, aren't I? I'm not doing anything that is... I'm trying to get at, if I do something stupid, then it's clearly going to be aggravated. If I go and run across the grass yelling and scaring all the animals or something, then that's stupid behaviour. If I'm just innocently flying my drone legally over their property legally, and it breaches their policy, that's not really me putting them...
It's when that breach of their policy becomes that aggravated trespass.
Yep.
And I get that it could be a weak breach, as in a weak step into that aggravated trespass. That might be there. But it's still something you could be suspected of having committed. Okay.
Would you go that route, officer? I'm not necessarily saying this as in I'm going to go and launch my drone.
No, I don't know.
But I'm
I'm
hypothetically
just trying to
saying...
explain what I could look at. That's it. So, I mean, you're saying from your side,
Yeah.
we both know I can't deal with a trespass. We both know I'm not here to enforce their rules. Okay. But they are effectively making a complaint that you are committing aggravated.
But wouldn't aggravated trespass have to involve trespassing? And if I'm on that cycle path, granted I know I'm here now, but if I'm out there, then I'm no longer trespassing at all, right?
I think the drone. I mean, I know with an aggravated trespass,
Yeah.
I can require you to land the drone, I believe.
If you suspect me of an offence, you can require the drone to be landed for sure.
Yeah.
If I'm on public land, and I know here's a bit of a grey area with it being a psychopath and it's
Yeah.
not their land, but if that was a public highway there,
Yeah.
and I was to stand on the public highway and launch and fly across, are you saying that the drone may possibly be still committing an offence, the drone itself? I know I'm flying it, but like the drone's doing the action.
The drone, you're pilot of the drone,
Yes.
so you would be committing the offence.
But wouldn't I have to be doing it in a manner that would be
that
you
would
know.
qualify as aggravated trespass.
So if I start flying over where you were, proper low, and just hovering over the people, so
Yeah.
they can hear it, it's right there,
Yeah,
maybe.
that
If
would be
I'm
more aggravating.
if I'm right up
Yeah.
there in the sky, like I was on the most of the video I showed you, that would be okay, right? I didn't have to cross the boundary.
It might cross the boundary.
Right.
I mean, again,
It's an interesting topic because
we
I've
would-
never had it before.
we would.
Right, okay.
I've never had aggravated trespass and drone put together. No, yeah.
And I guess with relation to what you do,
Yeah.
is this your first interaction? Well,
I've had police involved, but I've never had the aggravated trespass come up with a drone, and I've never looked at it and thought, lawfully, where would it be?
right, okay.
But I know people have commented on my videos before and said, oh, somebody could, possibly be done for that. And I've always looked at it and gone, not unless they're kind of flying it like an idiot and proper just pissing people off on purpose with the drone,
I'll be frank. I don't know how, in the circumstances,
Yeah.
the offence. Let's say it went to court. I'm not saying that. I don't know how it's been tested, to be frank. So I could suspect that you are committing aggravated trespass in the manner in which you have described you flying. Okay. So I could suspect you've committed that offence.
Right.
Whether you have or not, so you'd give your account in an interview, say if I brought you in for a voluntary interview,
Yeah.
because I suspect you having commit that offence.
Yeah.
I'd get their account of how you've flown. You'd give your account, okay,
Yes, that's the point.
and then a decision would be made as to whether you have actually committed that
Charge or no
offence.
charge, yeah.
So I can,
Want to avoid that, but
right here, I have to make a kind of, I don't know, not quick decision. I don't have all the information to hand. I'm not pretending I do.
Yeah.
But do I suspect you could commit that offence in the manner in which you're flying? Possibly.
if I stayed high and out the way of people so they can't hear it, would that, I'm not going to do that now, I'm just saying, would that, in your judgment, possibly qualify for that? Or do you think that would maybe just about, in your view, stay out of it? I'm not going to do that. I just want to hear what you've got to say. I am done with my flying today.
Again, it would depend, and again, I'm not pretending I know. It would depend on how your actions then impact, let's say, security, irrespective of them enforcing what their rules are, which is not my concern.
Right.
When it ticks over to the aggravated, if they are being disrupted in their activities, maybe they're having to stay on late because they have that concern.
But that's their
about how you're
overreaction. It could be, right?
Yeah, but that might be. Yeah, but that could be tested. So let's say, so I can suspect that you've committed that. Maybe they, or maybe they aren't overreacting. Okay.
A reasonable response. They've
Yeah,
called you guys already.
But then if their response is reasonable or unreasonable, would be part of testing whether you have committed the offence if it went further. Just as your defence of how you would flying would test your defences of that.
You've seen part of my flying, right?
Yeah, I have.
And you know how they've reacted other than, I know I described what he did, but
Yeah.
apart from that, they've told me not to, they've called you basically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's an overreaction in terms of physically, but it wasn't really needed for you. I said to them, I'll be there, I'll be an hour, and I'll be gone.
Mhm.
They could have kept an eye on me, and then,
Well, they felt the need, and if they feel the need, or if anyone feels the need,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
call
yeah,
us,
yeah,
I'd rather them call us than not, and me show up and go, oh, I'm not
Yeah.
needed, and I can
Yeah.
go on about.
but you're
my
saying their disruption, so moving forward, if I was to go up the hill and launch one more time, they could massively overreact to that and all run up there and try and citizens harass me for you to revive again. I haven't told them to do that, and a drone going up 120 metres above there is not really justified for their response, but they may do that. So would the police react on their response, or more what I'm doing to cause that response? That's what I'm trying to get at, is if my behaviour is reasonable.
I would react to what you were doing. So their
Right.
response to your action, I mean, unless they committed an offence,
Sure,
they're responding how they're responding, maybe how they're instructed to respond.
that's it, isn't it?
I would look at whether you are committing that offence, or whether there is enough there for me to reasonably suspect you are committing that offence.
Do you think my flying here today has been for a legitimate purpose? Social media, perhaps, but I'm not just flying to piss them off.
Yeah, I don't see what I do. Let's say you can fly the drone. It's that barrier between when you take actions that tip it into that aggravated factor, which you've alluded to. Commenters on your videos suggesting that you could be looked at for that, because it is difficult. It is grey. Drone law is a bit all over the place from my brief understanding of it, again with privacy law, and the trespass to aggravated trespass is a bit rough anyway. So when
Granted.
they all collide, particularly with an access issue, it does become a bit grey. And how everyone reacts is important, including us and everyone else.
Yep.
And I think a little bit of common sense, so long as everyone's safe, that's prime. As long as everyone's safe, that's a big green tick in the box. And how you've described everything doesn't particularly concern me with your regard to everyone's safety. You've justified your actions. I don't think you've taken any actions that are unsafe for someone. It doesn't necessarily mean that your actions couldn't be suspected of just ticking into that aggravated factor for me to have to do something. I don't think in this instance I'm going to have to do anything, because you've already said you've done a bit of flying, you're going to head off.
I suppose I'm getting at if I was still here flying earlier and you turned up mid-flight and I was like, look, I've got a bit left to do.
It's all very circumstantial for us. We react to obviously the situation in front of us. We can't give a definitive answer. We weren't here. We can't picture the scene. Do you know what I mean?
I just imagine you turning up.
There's so many factors in this
Put you in
place.
cuffs, chucking you in a car.
No, because it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I was adamant today that no matter what happens, I'm
You
going to try and I'm
okay.
going to try and get all my footage for the drone part. It took me 3 batteries, so 3 separate flights, right?
Right.
And I thought if the police come during this time and I haven't finished what I want, I am going to be very stubborn on this one and make sure I finish it or launch it again if I'm told not to. I didn't know how you're going to behave today. You may have said crack on, or may have said if you launch it we'll arrest you.
Yeah.
You turned up when I pretty much finished. I went up there to get an archway shot, came back down on the bike, came round to you.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to get at if I had more left, I wouldn't want you to go the aggravated trespass route. Maybe more advice to them of get some signs up saying no stopping, no drones, so at least to people it's a bit more clear.
Yeah, you're right. They can take steps to mitigate any confusion that might come across.
Wouldn't be
And
enforceable,
save,
but
and save putting you or I or anyone else in an awkward situation where we're back and forth justifying any actions we are or aren't taking. I think,
there is a case law on a drone case where the airspace is not owned by the property, but obviously if I was to come down and hover at the height I was, in your property, your house, clearly it's breaching your enjoyment of the land, right?
We'll say that.
So there was a case law on that if the drone comes low enough that it's infecting the enjoyment of the land, then it becomes maybe a trespassing issue at that height. So at the height I was at when I showed you the door, possibly at that height it could affect their enjoyment. If I was doing it at that height now consistently,
if you were whizzing round at that
and they're going, look, we can't leave you alone because that drone is literally right there, we're worried about the safety, I would agree that may be what you're saying. I think the case law could,
it's more clear, it's more apparent.
Maybe roof height could be some kind of reasonable area where drone flyers say, look, if we stay above roof height, generally speaking, it won't affect the enjoyment of the land. Providing the roof's quite high. If it's a 1-storey house, then maybe a bit higher, right? But
so, obviously you said the drone footage part is done. Are you planning on coming back and getting more footage?
No.
No, okay.
No. The reason I've just asked you more questions is because I thought you were going to turn up during my flight, and I wondered with the psychopath how it would go.
The psychopath, I've got absolutely no. Well, it's open 24 hours a day. You've got
but that was their main thing.
But I don't know what agreements are in place. Is that there's no stopping on the psychopath. Now, from stood here, I can't see anything that says that you shouldn't stop. So if you don't know that, maybe they can put some things in place to make sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay. They've said they've moved people on before. I don't know. I don't cycle. I haven't got a clue. But that's primarily the issue. People aren't allowed to stop on it. Okay. You're aware now. Okay. You said you weren't going to fly the drone and ride the bike. That would be.
Wouldn't be good, would it?
That wouldn't be good. Which is good. And you've considered these things. But you're not allowed to stop on it. Where it says that, I don't know. I don't think they're going to lie to me. I don't disbelieve them for saying it. There's no reason for them to come up to me and say,
no,
people aren't allowed to stop on it.
No.
And I wouldn't know anyway. I could look it up. But let's take them by their word. We'll assume no one's lying.
When he grabbed me, he was to try and say to me, you need to keep your eyes on your drone.
Yeah.
Right. Visual line of sight, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to explain to him what visual line of sight means, and he didn't want to listen. But would you be under the understanding that as long as the drone is in an airspace, that if at any moment in time I need to see it, I can? That's what visual line of sight means. Or would it mean he was trying to sort of say to me that I need to literally be eyes on that drone at all times,
But no, 'cause you're part-
which is impossible, right?
from the thing. Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs. I'll be satisfied that if you're in control of the drone, looking at the footage,
Yep.
so you're seeing how the drone is flying,
Yeah.
and you can visually see it in the air.
Perfect,
that
innit?
seems like
Two and two go together, and you, yeah.
if you spent the whole time looking up there flying around, I'd
Be
be
hard.
more concerned because
Yeah.
you'd be all over the place, I would imagine. I don't know.
When it's quite close shots, I tend to watch the drone only
Is that easy?
because I can control it by just looking at it.
Yeah.
But when it's high, just watch the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep glancing up in case birds are around.
Yeah, yeah.
Trees, maybe.
I think that's.
Yeah.
We can head off, and you're heading off.
I-
I can go
I'm-
tell them you're heading
I'm
off.
from here to Warminster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which way do I need to leave the estate if I'm riding the bike? Because it's quite a complicated area.
Yes.
Well, arriving was complicated for me.
The first one, that's going to take you out to Crockerton, I imagine.
That's a long hill. Do I need to go up the hill?
Well, someone's just gone that way, but I don't.
Would you like us to find out?
I think that's
Check on my map. I just
Because I have no clue.
wondered if you said, oh yeah, straight that way, great.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
No, and I don't know which would be the best. I imagine you don't want to go that way. Let's be honest.
Ideally, but I mean, if it's a hill, I'm presuming I'm going to need to go up to that hill at some point, or maybe not.
No, you might be able to skirt round. I'm just trying to think of the best way, B, the safest way.
Do you want to take me? Drop me off? Out the estate?
We can take you out the estate. Yeah.
Perfect.
No issue.
And then you've got rid of me.
I have. Yeah.
And then I've saved a bit of battery going up the hill.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
take
that's
that.
fine.
I'm just going to go over another word with the security manager.
Do you want to leave me with the keys? I'll start moving the car around.
Hopefully they don't get a video of me getting in your car, because I feel like we got him arrested.
Are you happy to give us any details? Just because ideally they like to put them on the log. If not, I can't do anything about it. But if you're happy to give details, we would take them.
I mean,
They're not going to go to them.
no, I mean like one of them know the channel, my YouTube channel.
Oh, will they?
So, I mean, I'm not going to give you my details, but
Right. Okay. Fine.
if you really,
No, that's fine. If
Hopefully find out.
If you're not going to give them, I can't force you to. But it was just for us. Normally we put them. We would take first name, last name, and date of birth,
Yeah.
just so we can add you into it. But if you're not going to, then I can't
generally I
do
don't like
anything
to, if there's no offence, I mean.
about it. No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's it. I'd rather ask you and you say no than
All right.
push it. Yeah.
I feel a bit weird getting in your car because they're going to literally be like, oh, look, he got taken away. But
So how come what do you use your camera here for?
recording, so when I turned up and they went hands on,
Yeah, you put it on them.
well, it was on before that, but
Oh, okay.
but it's for when
So
that
I didn't know
happens.
if you did like going round tours recording. I mean, I imagine that's a bit
Not
more grey
really.
area as well, or if you used it purely for your own safety.
When I fly my drone, I get a lot of backlash.
Oh, do you, what more than you'd probably expect, or I'd expect, I'm guessing.
I'll be honest, I do expect it. Now I've been doing it a while because it happens a lot.
Right, okay.
But I put it on, and if anything like interaction with the security happens,
Yeah.
I've got it on my video.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fair enough.
like some of these places, they don't kick off. They sort of say, oh, like they learn a bit, and they actually
Yeah,
they're like, oh,
you educate them,
yeah.
and they educate you, and you sort of work together.
they're like moving forward. You know, we'll maybe change the policy a little bit, or we'll
Yeah.
put some signs up, or it's not always bad.
No.
I mean,
I'm assuming your bike will fold down.
yeah. I wish I could hear what you're saying to them.
What do you want dropping just outside here, or do you want taken into Warminster? If you do either or.
I've got to catch a train I have in Warminster, so if you could like take me there, it'd be helpful.
Would we get a train? Yeah, it's fine. We take just train station, of course we can.
Is that right?
Yeah, would you know what time
That's
train
nice
is?
of you. It's quite soon. Well, I say quite soon. On that, it's quite soon. In the car, how long is Warminster away?
10 minutes, probably to the station, if that.
Now, today I went from London down to Salisbury.
Right.
Did some videos there.
What, Salisbury?
Salisbury, sorry.
What, cathedral?
Did there.
Yeah, nice.
And
That in this weather, that must have looked stunning.
Wilton Hall, is it?
Oh, yeah, Wilton, yeah.
Did there. And then I got on the train to Tisbury,
Right,
middle of nowhere.
yeah.
There's a place there.
You did get to Stourhead.
Warburg Castle? Is it
Wardour.
Wardour?
Yeah, Wardour Castle,
I
yeah.
was going to go there, but it was either there or here before one of them
What,
closed.
Stourhead?
So I chose here.
Stourhead's stunning as well, yeah.
So I'm going to go there a different day.
That's National
So-
Trust place, isn't it,
Yeah.
Stourhead? And then King Alfred's Tower's down there as well, isn't it?
Not sure.
Yeah, King Alfred's Tower's down there. That's like a big field with a tower in.
Oh,
basically.
right.
It probably isn't the most exciting to film, to be fair.
So like I got a London to Gillingham ticket,
Right,
off at Salisbury, off at Tisbury, and then off at Gillingham.
right.
Taxi up to here to make it quicker.
Right. But that cost you a bit, didn't it?
Plan to ride it, but I thought it'd be better be
Yeah, I was
quicker.
going to say that's a bit of a trek, to be fair.
And then Warminster's closer to here, so Warminster
Yes.
back to London.
Yeah.
So the tickets have been kind of
But
a bit
the
dotted.
Warminster route's quite easy because you just get to Westbury, then Westbury.
Westbury's straight to Paddington.
Yeah. Yeah, Westbury's sort of the local change normally.
Oh, right. Don't come down this way very often, so
No,
no.
bit of a trek for you, isn't it?
It is a little bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So what do you normally stay up around London way?
What, living-wise?
No,
Or
when you're filming, or do you go everywhere?
no, I go all over.
Yeah.
But I have kind of locations where I call them like day locations, where
Yeah.
I can go there in a day and go
Yeah.
home in a day. Here's what I would call like a staying over location. I'd usually stay
Normally,
over,
yeah, okay.
but not today.
No. Fair enough.
Just thought, try and get all that done and go back.
That's quite a lot on one day, though.
It's a lot. I missed off one, Stourton.
Yeah. And that's a massive place as well.
I saw that. If I'd have done that, I wouldn't have made it here. So
No.
yeah, with drones, it's kind of like aggravated trespass gets mentioned a bit.
Yeah. Which I get, and I think it's one of those, isn't it? Like everything, the technology's coming out, and the law is chasing, which you get a fair amount of, and until they become more of an everyday item, which I know they slowly are, but they're still not. It's going to take a few more things like that for it to become almost very obvious, like some of the other laws are to people, as to what is and what isn't.
So I think like the airspace above a property, if you think about it, an aeroplane, helicopter can use it freely without.
But then again, I suppose, and I don't know enough about it either, do you own the 50 metres above and then it's anyone's airspace? I don't know, I don't fly in airspaces above property, so I don't. But is there a certain limit? Do you own so much airspace above, or does it not work like that?
It doesn't, but the case law, as I say, has been tested that if a drone or an aircraft comes into an airspace which is affecting your enjoyment of your land,
then that's different.
then clearly
But for
it's...
some people that could be here, and other people, if they've got, I don't know, good hearing and the noise is annoying them, it could be above the roof height. So
It's true, I suppose you've got to be reasonable with that. Like here...
And that's what I mean, it's a tricky one because it's not going to be a set rule wherever you go. Your enjoyment compared to mine is also going to be a different threshold.
I think here, if it was a private residence and it wasn't open at all, but I still flew around it, I think staying a little bit above roof height would be reasonable, and I think not...
So I'm getting distracted because I couldn't work out what the noise is, but it's a sea lion, isn't it?
You know, if I was buzzing around in a circle constantly and they were out here enjoying their garden privately, that's going to piss them off.
Yeah.
But if I just do one flight round at that height, then I go high over there and over there, they're not going to know about it. So I think as long as it doesn't affect their enjoyment to a point where you're just pissing them off all day or for an hour, then there's no crime. That's how I would view it. But you don't own any airspace. No, you don't.
But but in some aspects, I suppose there should be an argument
Go
that
on.
you do. In some locations, they're probably...
No, you don't.
But you know what I'm saying, in some locations for security, etc., there probably should be an argument that you do.
So they have no fly zones.
Yeah. But then, so does that mean that they own the airspace, or is it
No.
just classed as... But you see what I mean? In theory,
So the CAA, who control the airspace,
Yeah.
Civil Aviation Authority, and
Yeah.
the ATC,
yeah,
they have
own
zones
fly zones,
which restrict
fly in,
aircraft
yeah.
going into for the purposes of sometimes the property.
yes, yeah.
Like at MOD, don't want
Yeah,
people
yeah.
going in there, over there.
In theory, then you just think let them own it, don't you? Rather than a no-fly zone. But then I suppose how high up does your airspace go and how much do you...
But then, okay, let's say you own the airspace.
Yeah.
Person says, fuck you, I'm going to fly over anyway. Consequences are you're trespassing.
Yeah.
Big deal.
But then...
No fly zone,
different
big deal.
story, Yeah.
because you're breaching a no-fly
But-
zone.
but you-
It's
yeah.
serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you get arrested for flying in a no-fly zone, like Heathrow or something serious,
Yeah.
you know, it's serious shit.
I mean, we don't have any airports, so you don't have to worry about it.
There's quite a few locally, you know.
There's a lot of little airfields, isn't there? Yeah.
There's quite a few red zones around here.
I don't know.
There are quite a few.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if we've got any airfields. I suspect we've got some MOD ones.
Can you see the red ones on the right?
Yeah, that's the whole Battlesbury plane. So what's orange?
Orange and yellow are generally just warnings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that'll be all of our military that's the red.
So that big yellow square
Yeah.
is just like a sort of low-flying aircraft warning that just be wary. There could possibly be low-flying aircraft in that square.
But then why have you got dots within the squares?
There.
Yeah.
That's a separate. That would be training in an airport, but
Oh, okay.
probably a
Oh,
disused
that's
airport.
quite useful. At least it tells you.
So we can fly anywhere pretty much that's not red. If it's red, it's a no-go.
But you don't have different rules to aircraft in terms of that map
Aircraft have other zones, I believe.
because the height they've got to be.
Yeah,
They
so
have more zones, I assume.
like a lot of those won't apply to main aircraft
Yeah,
because they're flying,
so high.
and they're probably commercial aircraft and MOD probably have something
It's an agreement or something.
already done that they're allowed to fly this route,
Yes, as long as it is that route.
regardless.
Give or take a metre or something.
Yeah.
Given wind speeds and stuff like that. Yeah.
And a lot of them are restricted to a certain height, so
Yes.
that one might be.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of the have
10K.
certain height. Yeah.
But a commercial jet round here is probably going to be higher than that.
Yeah.
Around London, probably not. It's lower.
No, I was going to say around here because it's MOD. You just don't see a lot because it's MOD.
Right.
So you don't see a lot necessarily in the sky.
Got you.
And if you do, it's theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, so aircraft generally have that same
Same rules.
view,
Yeah.
but we only have the ones that's applicable to a drone.
Yes.
So I went to a castle once, Welshpool area,
Right.
National Trust,
Yeah.
and the airport there granted me permission to fly in their zone
Yeah.
over the castle.
Oh, okay.
So you can fly in a red zone, but you have to pre-authorise
Go
it.
in- yeah. Right. Okay.
Castle contacted the airport and said, we don't want him flying over, a bit like here.
Right.
Airport were a bit naughty, called me up and they withdrew permission based on the castle.
Right.
They shouldn't really do that, but they did. Airport said, oh, there's a noise abatement zone.
Oh, what?
Like a noise, it's for aircraft,
Right.
right? Like Heathrow has it.
Right.
They got to alternate their runway takeoffs.
Yes.
So people that live there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Noise abatement.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't apply to drones. But he
So
showed
close
me,
you're not noisy enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
he showed me his map, and there's a red circle, and I'm like, it's obviously not a fake circle what he's showing me, it's real.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is it? It was for aircraft.
Right.
We don't see that. It doesn't apply to a drone.
Yes.
But that applies to aircraft.
Yeah.
They can't fly low over the castle because it's a nature reserve. Or I don't know what it was.
There's some
Some
impact
reason.
on the animals or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
So generally, aircraft have the same view as us.
Right. Okay.
Few different,
Yeah.
but obviously for a drone, all of those zones are like a no-go. Whereas for an aircraft, if they want to land at Heathrow, they can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It will be cleared with ATC, right? Whereas a drone,
They'll have some way of contacting whoever to be like, look, we need to come down, and they can sort of solve that issue. Whereas
That's
obviously
it.
you don't get that benefit.
drones don't have that. They're
No.
just normally people just flying a
Yeah.
drone.
Yeah.
And drones can cause problem for big aircraft, can't they? Because if it's up there
Yeah.
and the aircraft hits it,
Well,
gonna
I
come
know
off.
which one's going to win.
well, the aircraft. But obviously,
Yeah. If it
it's
does
a
any
bit,
damage.
if it,
Yeah. Yeah.
the aircraft's going at like 300 miles an hour and the drone's going at
Yeah.
whatever the drone's going at, and it hits, you
Yeah.
know.
It's a surprising amount of impact.
There was a photo of a drone that size hitting an aircraft
Yeah.
in America. I think it was America. They were doing the water drops
Oh yeah. Yeah.
for the fire, and a drone. Someone put a little drone up and it hit
Just
it.
a video of the fires or whatever.
I presume so.
Yeah.
And the dent on the aircraft looked like a car had hit it.
But yeah, because of the speed.
People didn't believe
Yeah.
that a
That little
249
drone,
plastic
yeah.
thing could do that, but it did. And aircraft are actually quite fragile in terms of
Yeah.
touching them. They're very light and aerodynamic.
Yeah, I suppose you don't think about that, do you? You just get it and hope for the best.
But that's your
Yeah.
skin of an aircraft, not like a car. If
No,
you touch
they're all
it,
microfiber, aren't they?
it's proper, like, I'm not sure. Not sure.
Oh, it's on its way back.
Oh, that's good. I'll get my bike ready. Unless he's going to arrest me. I thought he was going to when I first came in, and he said, I want to talk to you. I was like, ooh.
No, that's what it's like.
What's he going to say?
No.
Yep, easy as that, look.
That is quite easy, isn't it?
Magnetic.
I was going to say, if I enjoyed riding bikes, that'd be the sort I want. But
Yeah, it's easy.
Me and bikes don't go.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when police turn up. So when he said that, I thought, oh, what's going to happen? You just don't know.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, you just treat everyone as when you come across them, don't you?
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
But let's get this over. Not sure.
On the back seats next to you.
Oh, you want it in the back seat, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to say we
All right.
got the boot with all our
No worries.
rubbish. Yeah.
We good?
All good?
Are you driving or am I driving?
Oh, boy.
What's the
Cuffs
train
or no
station?
cuffs? We're on the back.
What's the train station?
Is that where you want to go?
If you don't mind, she said it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's right
Really
by the
appreciate
neck.
that.
It's right by the neck anyway, and that's where we're going.
I've got.
Do you have a drone license?
It's an operator ID.
is that a different thing?
So did you see the number on the drone that was stuck on?
That's the one that goes on your licence, isn't it? Or it goes
For
together.
250 grand, well, for under 250,
Yeah.
no drone licence is needed, but you
You
have
just
the
need the
operator
operator
ID,
Okay.
which is registered for the
Do you
drone.
have the operator ID?
It was on the drone. Did you see it when I?
I
I'll
don't know
show you.
whether is it alright if I have another look?
Yeah,
Thank you. And then now, where's your bike going next to you?
Yeah.
it's going next to me, I think.
I put everything in the boot. I just thought it was easier. All I stuff's in the boot then.
What it is, I've got to catch a train, and your colleagues happily,
Yeah,
kindly
that's-
offered
that's
to.
what she was-
Yeah,
It's on there.
Well, I wouldn't see it there, would I?
Yeah.
The G, was it
GBR up, and then
up
rest of it there.
C5. Yeah, but if that's
Do
alright.
you want to take it?
Yeah.
Do you want to write it down?
Well, I can say it out loud or I can write it down.
Write it
Or
down.
do you just want to take a photo of it?
I'll take a photo of it. Is that alright?
Do you think you're entitled to it or not?
I don't know.
It's not true. You don't know.
I don't know.
You're taking it
Are
anyway.
you happy for me to take it?
Okay, you are entitled to it.
Okay.
If you believe a flight's taken place. Do you believe a flight's taken place?
Yeah, I believe that. I'm not pretending to know the ins and outs.
What it is, when I first started flying, it was the legislation was very ambiguous with,
Yes.
can an officer take that without any crime being committed or suspected of?
Yeah.
Answer is yes.
Okay, good
But as
to know.
long as a flight has happened.
If you
rather than-
suspect a flight has taken
Right.
place
I
or
definitely-
is taking
I definitely
place,
expect the flight's taking place.
and if the drone requires a operator registration, which it does,
Yeah.
then you can take it.
Okay.
But a lot of police don't know that.
Well, I do now.
But if I tell you no and reject it,
Yeah.
my camera's rolling, it won't look good for me because I know you're allowed to have it.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
So why would I decline it?
good.
Anyway, happy?
Imagine you've got people go on that side, things go on this side.
And also you'll have more leg room then.
With that there? Did you let them know that you are just taking me to the, giving me a lift, you're not arresting me?
I told them you've been arrested for all sorts.
Oh dear.
Did you give them a long list?
Oh, so did you came out especially for this job? Or?
No, we were already out and about to be fair. They just
Oh,
asked
right.
us to pop along, so we did.
Cool. Have you attended a drone incident before? Never.
So I did have it. I didn't. It wasn't like this where we got called out. It was what we get jobs that come in that we sort of get assigned.
Yeah.
And I was working alongside someone on one, but they almost did their drone pilot thing, so they dealt with it more than me because they actually understood more of the rules of drones than I did.
Okay. Nice.
I think probably because it's relatively newer
It's
technology,
the unknown, isn't it?
it presents a, we'll call it a threat.
Yeah.
That people aren't always prepared for, whether
Yep.
it is a threat or not, as in they're identifying it as the unknown, therefore a threat. They don't know how to prepare for it, they don't know how to react to it, they don't know the full extent of what threat it could pose.
I don't think you can get out that way.
This way.
Isn't the barrier up so you can't get out?
There is a little box there, maybe.
Do you give the number on the thing? Might let me out.
I can say if you come from this way, I don't know if it will set off a sensor that lets you out.
So I think they're going to assume maybe a higher level of threat because of the unknown.
Yeah.
So they'll always err on the side of caution,
Yeah, pull up to the white line and it should sort itself out. And wait for a green light.
and sometimes that may cause people to overreact, as I'm sure you've encountered before, and sometimes not.
You're not waiting for the green light.
So, I've been taken.
That's fair enough. I can understand the unknown and people not knowing what it is.
Again, people are educated, will get more used to it,
Yeah.
and as long as
When it becomes more of an everyday item.
I get different reactions.
Can I ask, when you spoke to them, did you kind of say in a word or two that me or somebody can kind of fly from there? There's not really an offence unless, as you described to me, the aggravated part. Like, do you think they will deal with it differently next time? Or do you think they'll have some signs put up possibly or anything like that?
I wouldn't like to say how they will respond to anything next time.
No.
That's up to them. They will brief or debrief about the situation because for them, irrespective of how you feel or I feel, for them it will class as a security issue.
Yep.
So obviously they're going to brief. It is a more high-risk location.
Yeah, they said that.
Wiltshire,
Yeah.
I think.
They said due to who was in the house, but they wouldn't say.
No, they wouldn't.
I presume it's public knowledge, but I haven't got a clue.
My understanding is tends to be that they, I don't know much about it.
Right. They don't want to go through.
They won't confirm or deny the presence of anyone in the property
No.
to members of the public in case it presents an issue. I think
That's fair enough.
whether they react differently next time, it'll depend on how they brief. I've raised that maybe it's not as easy as it could be to identify the fact that you're not meant to stop on the path, not just you, anyone.
Yep.
Whether they take that on board or whether it's necessary, again, it's not up to me. It's not my area.
Well, that would, I suppose, it would make flying the drone incredibly difficult if it was clearly signposted. You could only ride your bike here if you do not stop.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't be breaking a law, but as a drone flyer and as somebody that puts my videos in the public domain, if I was to then go against that rule, you know, like a signpost, and clearly I ignore it, I'm not exactly acting very good
Yeah.
morally, or, you know, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
no,
the
I know what you mean.
it wouldn't make me look the best,
You look
right?
bad.
No. So me being me, if I would have seen a sign saying that, I would have probably tried to find a public pathway to do it from, if I could find one.
Yeah.
I only remained there and kind of went against their wishes due to, I wasn't sure if I believed them, to be fair, about stopping, so I just thought unless you can prove it, I'm going to do it. So maybe if they had signs put up, it would have stopped me today. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I think I'm on there.
Dan.
Dan, nice to meet you.
Dan, good to meet you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
What's your name?
Peter.
Peter. Good to meet you, Peter. Thanks for being really nice and positive today.
Oh, that's fine. It's all right. Yeah. Where can I find the footage?
DJE Media.
DJ Media. Okay.
I thought they'd have told you, because I think one of them knows my channel anyway.
No, no one told me. No,
Oh, surprised.
I know now though. I'll see, I'll see if I'm on there. Okay. Thank you, Dan.
No worries. Take care, guys. Oh, she's gone, the lady's gone. Oh, wonder where you gone?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be this side, but there's not one for 1855 on the board, so I don't know if it's delayed.
Ah.
So I'll have a look, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be on this platform, not the other side.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because I'm going Westbury, aren't I, first?
Yeah, you're going to Westbury, because the other side's Salisbury, which is the wrong direction for you, so I think you're going to be this side. But yeah, there's not one for that time at the moment, so just...
Oh, 1858, says.
Yeah, if you've got... Oh, maybe it was 58 and I looked for 55. Double check on your phone though, because it might be different. I think the one on there is 1903, so it might be a little bit delayed, so just have a double check.
I'll have a look.
Perfect.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
I stood beneath the silent tower, its hands unmoved, no voice, no chime. The sky was pale, the winds were thin. None called, none named, no sign of time. Reflections rippled in the glass, but I saw no face, no trace of past. The stones forgot the songs they sang, and so did I, so did I. I reached for years that slipped when time forgot my name. I saw your name drawn in the dirt. The wind erased it without a word. I knelt to write it back in flame, but ashes never stay the same. Each letter cracked beneath my skin. I tried to carve, but time won't let me in. What kind of world forgets so fast? One that was never meant to last. Names written in ash, drift, lost under stone and past. We scream but no one hears. They vanish with the years. I carved you deep in fire.
Well, we got a lift off the police, which is a first for me. But I do feel that they would have been watching me like, oh, he got taken away by the police, you know. But I don't care. Today we caught the train from London because we had some work to do in London, and I hate going to London in the car. I absolutely hate it. So I did the train, and the Warminster. Well, this station was quite far away from that place, and it's already been a long day riding the bike. So them giving me a lift, in all honesty, has really helped me today. I do really appreciate that, and I really didn't care whether they thought I was getting arrested or not. I didn't care. I proved my point. The police didn't stop me flying, and actually, they were both pretty sound. The aggravated trespass was a very interesting conversation. One which a lot of people will find interesting, I think. But anyway, Longleat House. Hopefully you've been educated. Hopefully if it happens again, you'll put some measures in place. But yeah, the video will be very beautiful. And in terms of the guy assaulting me while I was flying, that's not good. But the officers kind of distracted me from that topic, because I was going to try and push to see whether he would to do anything about it, you know. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, guys. We need to try and build our subs up. More people that watch, the better. And a lot of you are not subscribed, believe it or not. So hit that subscribe button, it's free. And I'll see you tomorrow.